What if I told you that renting in Canada isn't just a phase, but it's a trap? Today, I'm breaking down the hidden truth behind the affordability and giving you the tools to navigate this housing market. Stick around, you won't want to miss this one. In today's video, we will dive into why renters in Canada are finding it harder than ever to buy a home and what you can do to get ahead even in this tough market. Hi, my name is Parth Soni. I'm a real estate agent based in Ontario, focusing on giving you the real no nonsense scoop on Canadian housing market. If you're here for data, trends, and actionable advice, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification. I have assisted so many families in transitioning from renting to homeowner. So now let's get into it. Now let's check out what is the state of renting in Canada right now and where it came down and what about that. So just to give you an idea, over the past 5 years, we have seen a rent increasing from $1,786 to $2,088, and that's the average price all across Canada. If you see over here in Feb of 2020, we were roughly at about $1,786. And right now, in the Feb of 2025, 5 years after it, we are sitting somewhere in a range of $2,088 every single month plus utilities. You will also see over here, we have seen a great jump, a huge jump in the rent from 2021 to 2024, and now it came down a little. And if you're someone who's looking for a specific in terms of provinces, here are all the provinces, so you can check it out. For the purpose of this video, I'll be considering Ontario because that's where I'm based in. A majority of the clientele is from here. So just to give you an idea, Ontario, you have one bed, two bed, and three bed. One bed is roughly about $2,100. Two bed is $2,573, and three bed comes little over $3,000 with the highest in BC right now. And if you want to go a little bit more granular, you can also check out based on the cities. And this is the kind of a report you can get from rental.ca. I advise all of my landlord clients to get this one. And as a renter as well, you need to check this out. It will give you a detailed report what is happening in a particular city. So if you see over here, like all the major cities, Vancouver, Toronto, Mississauga, Burlington, Waterloo, what is happening with the studio, one bedroom, two bedroom, three bedroom, and what is the change year over year? So almost all the major cities, if you see over here, it's in a negative as of right now because of so much influx of condo inventory and also purpose built rental, and the immigration demand is going. Now let's check out what is the problem. Now I found this report online. It's a very old report dated back in 2019, but I can guarantee you that the number are much more worse than what you see over. And just based on the report, 44% of Canadians are overspending on rent when compared to that. And if you're someone who wants to do a regional breakdown, you can see over here like Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, and Ottawa. Like in Toronto, 34% are spending over what their monthly budget should be. And just so to get you clear or get you good idea, as a renter or as a homeowner, as a renter, let's check out as a renter, no more than 30% of your income should go towards your renting or housing needs. And as a homeowner, that number should be stick to 35%. I know based on the recent economic, that number is stretched over 50% to 60, 70% in some cases. And I've seen much worse, like 100% of your income going towards your housing needs. So make sure you don't end up in that kind of scenario. Now let's start with the basic. In Canada, the average rent for two-bedroom unit has skyrocketed to over $2,200 per month, and in cities like Toronto and Vancouver are far exceeding to $3,000 to $3,500 a month. Now, according to the latest data from rental.ca, rent have increased by more than 20% in the past 2 years alone. And when you combine that with the stagnant wages, and the renters are feeling more squeezed than ever. Now let's check out why home ownership feels very unattainable for many renters out there. For the purpose of this, I have divided into three categories. The very first one is the affordability gap. The second one, which we have, is a down payment dilemma, and the third one is the rising interest rate. There are other factors as well which contribute to it, but these are the main three factors. Now let's check out the affordability gap. One of the biggest hurdles is the affordability gap. Now home prices in Canada have ballooned to an average price of $750,000, while the median household income remains below $100,000. That is an 8-to-1 ratio, nearly double what is considered as affordability based on the global standard. For renters who are trying to save up for the down payment, it's like climbing a mountain that's get taller with every step. Now here are the quick graph which I was able to get from the internet based on housing affordability index. It's specifically from Canada. Now this number has to be between from 90 to 110. Now there is a formula, there's a quick formula over here how you get this number. So the lower the number, the more affordable it is. The higher the number, the less affordable it is. So right now, if you see over here from 2005 to, I would say, 2020, we are very much in affordability range, but everyone knows what happened after that. House prices skyrocketed, and right now the affordability is over 110. Expected things are like based in like 2026 to 2035, the affordability will come down, but still it's in a very high end spectrum of the affordability. Here's another graph which describes what is affordability based on the different region or different cities in Canada. So right now, if you see over here, Canada, which is marked over here, it's considered as an unaffordable based on the housing index that we see. Housing affordability index has to be between 90 and 110. And here are all the cities like Barrie, Kitchener-Waterloo, Brantford, St. Catharines, Peterborough, Guelph, and all the major cities which are considered as unaffordable. If you see on the left side, all in blue, sorry, all in yellow, like Calgary, Montreal, Windsor, which is are in affordable range. And if you're someone who's looking for a very affordable cities in Canada, you can go towards the green. That is again more on the left side, like Regina, Saskatoon, Newfoundland, New Brunswick, Quebec City, Moncton, Winnipeg. Those are like very affordable. And this is something what I've seen on and on. Like most of the people think Canada is unaffordable, which it is in overall, if you see the overall spectrum. But there are so many cities out there which are very affordable. So if you're someone who have a remote job or someone who find good employment in this kind of cities, then definitely it could become a very affordable for you. Now, the next one in this we have is a down payment dilemma. I have talked to so many first-time home buyers, and most of them don't know that what is the minimum down payment required in order to get a house. Many people believe like minimum down payment in Canada is 20%, but that's not the case. Now let's talk the number. Like saving 20% down payment on a $750,000 house, it means coming up with $150,000. Even if you save $1,000 a month, that's a stretch for many renters out there. It will take you 12 years to come up with that amount, and then home prices might even get high. So let's check it out. How long does it take to save up for a down payment in various cities? So let's start with Ontario as of right now. In Ontario, the average home price. Now let's start with Ontario. The average house price in Ontario is roughly about $834,000, and the minimum down payment in order to get that house will be $58,700. Of course, you also need a closing cost as well. But many people, as I discussed previously, have an idea like they have to come up with 20% down payment. That is not true in this case, and all the cities in Canada, minimum down payment is 5% for first $500,000, and after that 1.5, it's 10%. So for this case, you have to come up with 58,700. The average salary is 58,700 in Ontario. At this rate, you will need roughly about 9.9 years to save up for the down payment, provided house price don't go up, which is very unlikely. Now, if you are someone who's planning to get a house in Toronto, the average home price in Toronto right now is $1.1 million, and the minimum down payment will be roughly about $86,000. And the down payment time will be 14.7 years. That's almost 15 years in Toronto. The other one is British Columbia. The average down payment time in British Columbia will be 12.6%. And this is where the highest, the shocking numbers are in Vancouver. It will take you about 16 years just to save up for a down payment. And that is also minimum down payment. We are not talking about 20%, just a minimum down payment, provided the house price don't go up based on the average sale. And here are all the other provinces and how much time does it take. Like in Alberta, 4 years, Saskatchewan, 3 years, Quebec, 5.3 years. So with very affordable coming at Newfoundland and Labrador. The other one is PEI and New Brunswick, roughly about 3.9 years. The next one is Manitoba with 3.7 years. So if you're someone who's considering planning to buy a house with a minimum down payment, you can also check out various different cities in this kind of provinces. Now, the next on the list is the rising interest rate. Now, even if you manage to save for a down payment, higher interest rate are creating a new barrier. Higher rate means higher monthly mortgages, and which pushes more buyer out of the market, leaves renters stuck on this. And I know it has come down significantly, but still many people are hoping it will come down to pre-pandemic level, as many people have seen that 1.52% interest. Now, those are the main three factors that I believe is contributing to home ownership being very unattainable. But based on based on my experience over the past 5 years, there are two more factors which I want to include in. The very first one in that is that many renters don't know or don't understand how the buying process works, and that is another huge challenge. Many renters assume buying a home is just about having enough for a down payment, but that's just a one piece of. From mortgage pre-approval to hidden closing costs like land transfer tax and legal fees, a lot of renters don't know where to start. And let's be real, school don't teach us. And not everyone will have financial expert in their family. This lack of guidance makes the process feels even more intimidating. And this leads many people out there to avoid exploring home ownership as an option. Now, if you're feeling the same way, check out this video over here. This will give you a complete idea. And if you're someone who's planning to buy a condo as a first time home buyer, I have a very detailed video in the description. So make sure to go watch that out. You'll be very confident after watching. The next on the list is the job uncertainty and the economy. Even if renters manages to save money and learn the buying process, the one thing they can't control is the job security. Now, Canada's job market has become more uncertain with rising tech layoffs and also due to a shifting economy and higher cost of living, making it harder to plan long. And this is what I mean based on the job uncertainty. Like if you see an employment chart over a past, I would say 3 years. So if you see from May of 2022 to 2025, as of right now, we have seen unemployment going, it's shooting up right now at staggering at 6.6%, whereas in 2022 we are at roughly about 5.4%. So that's roughly an increase of 1 to 1.2 depending which sector you are in. And for many, the fear of being laid off or not being able to keep up with the mortgage payment stops them from taking a leap into home ownership. Because let's face it, no one wants to buy a house to be a house poor. So what's the point of owning a house when you are constantly stressed about making your end? Now let's check what are the policy problems we have. Very first one in this one is the lack of affordable housing. Now the federal and provincial governments have made promises to build more affordable housing, but the progress have been very slow. We are short of tens and thousands of units, and the renters are the one who are paying the price. The next one is the rent control and its impact. Now, rent control policies help existing tenants but discouraging landlord from investing into new rental properties. And this creates a cycle where demand outpaces supplies, driving rents even higher. It's a tough balancing act that leaving renters in the lurch. Fortunately for renters, we have a good supply of purpose-built rentals and more condos being completed in Canada, reducing the pressure for rentals and driving the prices down. However, I'm very concerned like that very few investors are motivated to buy a condo as a rental investment as of right now, and this could result lack of new projects in the first half of 2025 and also leading to a significant supply issues between 2028 to 2030. I will make another video about this how lack of supply in 2028 and 2023 will be worse for Canadian real estate. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. Now, to be honest, I don't like to give advice to people on what to do and what not to do, but here are the few steps that I would do if I'm renting right. And I have a plan to buy a house in the near future. The very first one will be budgeting down for a down payment. Now, while the odd feels stacked, there are few strategies that you can use to start building up a realistic budget. So identify where your spending goes to and identify which area you can save and invest. The next one is to exploring alternative paths of ownership. Now consider creating solutions like co-buying with friends or families, looking into first-time homebuyer incentive programs, or exploring market outside of the major cities or the territories where you are staying at. The next would be renting smarter. Now, if home ownership isn't in your near future, focus on renting smarter. Negotiate on the lease term, consider a smaller unit, or look for the neighborhoods will potentially for a long term affordability. And make sure you know about the principle of 30. So never spend more than 30% of your income on the rent. So the road to home ownership might feel daunting, but understanding the challenges and planning strategically can make all the affordability crisis is real, but renters don't have to give up on that. Now, if this video resonated with you, hit the like button and subscribe more for Canadian real estate. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.